IGA Meals and Minutes with Courtney Wise.
When you think of Cheney's Dairy Barn, your first thought is probably their delicious homemade ice cream, but Deborah has a hot dish recipe that you can serve for dinner and then maybe have that ice cream for dessert.
Absolutely, always your ice cream for dessert. Well, I know, Deborah, you've been on several times in the last couple of months, and let me tell you something. I think the last time you were on, the chocolate pie that you made, one of our most popular recipes. So here's another really popular one using Cheney's Dairy Barn milk. So it's chicken and broccoli casserole. If we could get a shot of that right there, it looks gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it.
I actually referred to some Got Milk recipes online.
Okay.
There's a 2012 calendar that's being voted on, and they have got some great recipes if you want to go online and view those.
And if you ask me, it's kind of a new twist on it. I mean, you have a layer of broccoli and then a layer of tomatoes and then your chicken and then your cheese. I think it looks great. I can't wait to get started. Why don't we chicken in
We're going to
the
get
pan
started
first? Okay.
We're going to start by putting some butter in the skillet to melt. Here I have 1/3 cup of butter.
Okay.
And while that's melting, I'm going to chop an onion to go in there with it.
Okay.
And I've used just 1/2 of a small onion. And I thought I'd chop the onions here to fill in some time.
Yes, absolutely. Well, while you're doing
So-
that, let me ask you, how's everything going with Miss Glimmer? Last time Miss Glimmer was on the show, do you remember she walked away during our interview? It was so funny. I think she got freaked out with the satellites in the background. But, you know, you've been selling Cheney's Dairy Barn milk at IGA's and Houchins for the last couple of months. I think that everything is still going well for you guys, and I just wanted to publicly again say congrats. And
Thank you so much. She is a busy lady.
She is
I tell you, she does all the farm tours.
yeah.
And she's been helping Carl quite a bit to keep all that milk supplied in the IGA stores.
Yeah.
So thank you to the general public for purchasing the milk. It's really helping.
She's such a pretty cow. I love to try to pet her when she lets me. And you guys have a fun weekend planned, right? On Sunday, right? Celebrity Scoop Day. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
This is an annual event that we do every year. Only this year we've actually brought it more into the spring, almost summer months
There
to
we
help,
go. There's the
help
graphic.
bring in a little bit more income for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Which is awesome.
So we've got between the hours of 1 and 4, we donate 100% of the ice cream proceeds to St. Jude's. And we have lots of celebrities this time. We have you and Iggy coming to join us at 2:30.
I'm so excited. I said, Iggy may not be able to scoop ice cream because of his little mitts, but I will be able to. Can we eat some too?
You can't. You have to eat your mistakes.
Oh, well, there will be plenty of mistakes that I try to make myself. Who else do you have? You have Jim DeCesare. He always does it, I feel like.
We do. We've got
so that's good.
Brett Guthrie. We have a relative of mine that I consider a great movie star, Andy Stahl. And his last role that I remember was the principal in Blindside.
Okay, you kind of act like, I mean, that's really big. And he lives, what, right up the road, right in Morgantown?
Correct.
I'm going to get his autograph.
We've got Hillbilly Jim coming to join us. And Joker Phillips from the University of Kentucky.
Okay.
And then we've recruited several from Western Kentucky University. We've got Mary Cowles, Coach McDonald, and Coach Taggart.
Well, that'll be really fun for the whole family on Sunday. It'll be warm on Sunday, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Everyone come out to Cheney's Dairy Barn on Sunday from the hours of
1 to 4.
1 to 4. Again, we'll pop that graphic up in a little while.
Yeah. And then while this is cooking, I'm going to be putting together the things that we're going to go into the sauce. It's going to be part of the good part that goes into it.
The best part.
I've already pre-measured out here. We've got our flour that's going to be our thickening for the sauce.
Okay.
We've got, we're going to do 2 cups of Cheney's whole milk.
That's right. Whole milk makes everything so creamy.
It does. And our whole milk has just a little bit higher percentage of butter fat in it. It has lots of solids. The Jersey milk just gives really good flavor. We've got a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of sweet basil, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper.
Ooh, I like those spices. Sweet basil.
Yeah. One thing I failed to add here was a little squeeze of lemon to the top here of our chicken to give it some added flavor while it cooks.
And if you're dying to try this recipe tonight because you think it looks so good, by the way, it smells so good here in the studio, all you have to do is log on to IGAmeals.com, and that recipe is at the very top. So you click there and a page comes up and all you have to do is print it out. So we're trying to make that easier for you.
Yeah. While this is cooking, we're going to butter our dish
I'll
over
let you
here.
go in front of me.
We're going to use a 9x13 baking dish. And I'm just using a little wedge of the butter to rub along here.
Okay.
And
butter's better than like Pam spray or
not necessarily. It just gives a little bit more flavor. It's just more of an old-fashioned way, I think, of helping things keep from sticking.
Sometimes the more butter, the better, if
the
you
better.
ask me. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to get a food glove right there to handle this pasta with. It's
The
underneath
what?
the cutting
I'm sorry,
board.
what did you want?
Right
Oh, A
There
glove.
you go. Yeah.
Right. One of these. Okay.
I've already pre-cooked some pasta. I've used the IGA medium wide noodles. And this is going to be lies underneath our bed of broccoli and tomatoes and all this good stuff.
I didn't even see the pasta under there with your finished product.
Oh,
that's awesome.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sauce goes on top of that?
The sauce is going to go on top of that.
Okay, this is going to be so good.
Yeah.
You know, this is really a lot of people's favorite dish. You know, even you can make it for Christmas, you can make it for the summer, you can make it really anywhere, anytime. It doesn't really matter. People are going to love it.
You can.
We're going to go to break really fast, let this chicken cook, and by the time we come back, we'll be able to assemble everything else and tell you about that winner of the $100 IGA gift card. Don't go away. Debra Chaney's here, and we are making a chicken and cheese and broccoli casserole, and it's so creamy looking. I love it. I'm so excited. Okay, congratulations to our Twitter winner from last week. What we did is had a just a little contest on Twitter, and we asked you to retweet something that I retweeted for a $100 gift card, and congratulations to Eddie Alexander. You won that $100 gift card. We'll make sure to contact you. I've already contacted you on Twitter. If you're out there listening, and we'll try to contact you again and send you that $100 gift card. Thank you for following us. And if you're not on Twitter, or if you haven't followed us yet, go ahead and do that for minute-to-minute meal ideas and entertaining tips and all that kind of fun stuff. Also, on the blog this week, IGAmeals.com, a Derby trifle. So instead of a Derby pie, you can make a trifle. It's A, it's easier, and B, it's just different. I know you're going to go to Derby parties and everything in the next couple of weeks, and that might be something that you can take to that party. You think this chicken is done?
I think so. We've been cooking this chicken about 6 minutes.
Okay.
And it's just on medium heat. So now we're going to make use the butter that was in the saucepan and make a little sauce to go over the noodles.
Like a roux?
Yes. Some good stuff. We're going to start by adding our flour.
Okay.
I have a 1/3 cup of flour, and I'm going to take a little wire whisk here and whip it in really quickly.
I like that whisk.
I like that too. We're going to pull it from the heat.
It really does thicken it, doesn't it? I mean,
It does,
it's really fast.
really quickly.
Okay, you want me to go the other way?
Set this here. Okay. Let's add in all the other stuff, our pepper. If you want to continue to stir while I pour
I've
in.
never used one of these before. I usually have just like a
got
regular one.
Pepper and basil and salt. And then we're going to pour in our milk, and I'm going to gently pour it in while Courtney stirs.
Oh yeah, there we go. And this is that layer that goes on top of the noodles. Kind of makes everything stick together.
It does.
Oh yum. Deborah, this looks so good. Is this what's for dinner at the Chaney house tonight?
It's going to be what's for dinner at the Chaney house. Yeah.
It might be what's for dinner at the Wise house.
But now that everybody knows that, they may drop in to join us. I may have all kinds of company for dinner tonight.
Was that an invite? I think that was an invite.
it
She
was
just invited
too.
us all to her house for dinner. Okay.
I'm going to let you pour in about half of that cheese in here with this, if you don't mind.
Can I use my hands?
You sure can.
Okay.
Put some in
Like
here.
this?
Put
Oh,
it
in here?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just do not pay attention. That's what
It's going to
I'm
go
sorry.
both places, actually, so you're
Okay.
quite good.
I was just doing it for color. You just want that to melt, I'm assuming, and then you're
Yes.
going to pour it on top. Is that about half?
I think that's about half of it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to pour about half of this on the noodles to kind of get those started.
Oh, that looks so good. A lot of times you use that cream of mushroom soup, right, in the chicken and broccoli casserole, but I like this recipe.
You
I
can.
like
I'm
that
going
a
to
lot.
stir that around a little bit just to
Okay.
get all the noodles moist.
Do you think we can finish this in about 30 seconds?
We're going to try to.
I know. You're a
We're gonna-
professional.
We're going to layer the broccoli in here.
Okay, and then
And you steam the broccoli ahead of
the
time.
broccoli looks really pretty too,
It
by the way.
does. And then you're going to lay your tomatoes around on it.
Can I just?
You sure can.
4 hands are better than 2.
Okay. So if you have lots of hands, you can see how quickly you can put this dish together.
Okay, then you put the chicken on top, and then the
chicken
cheese.
on top of that, and then the
Okay.
cheese, and then we're going to bake it at 350 for around 35 minutes.
Okay, again, this recipe is on IGAmeals.com. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great week.
Thank you.
Go to WBKO.com/midday for IGA Crossroads locations.